Margaret, 83, strides Oak Park's heart, vital. She greets each neighbor with a smile, her warmth radiating through the morning air. Her independence shines, marking her as a respected figure in the close-knit community. The park comes alive with her energy, as if the trees themselves nod in acknowledgement. Her brisk pace sets a lively rhythm, echoing through the tranquil morning. Margaret Thompson's vitality is a testament to a life well lived, an inspiration to all who cross her path. Sunlight bathes Margaret's living room, casting a peaceful glow over her sanctuary. Margaret sits serenely, the rhythmic clicking of her knitting needles filling the quiet air. The walls are lined with family photos, preserving memories of joy and unbreakable bonds. Unbeknownst to Margaret, the tranquility of her home is about to be shattered by insidious deception. In the heart of the local library, Margaret welcomes patrons with a warm smile, embodying the spirit of community. Her friendly demeanor strengthens her role as a supportive pillar within the community. Books line the shelves, filled with stories ready to be discovered. Margaret leans forward, her eyes sparkling with kindness. In his opulent home, David Thompson's unease is palpable as he paces, a stark contrast to the luxury surrounding him. Outside, the BMW gleams a false idol of success against a backdrop of hidden financial turmoil. Inside, Jennifer observes David's distress, her face etched with worry. The lavish home traps David as he continues to pace. Sunlight paints Margaret's living room as David sits, his smile a subtle dance of ease and calculation. David's voice drips with faux concern. "You know, Margaret, I noticed you misplaced your glasses again. Happens to the best of us, of course." He continues, his tone laced with worry. "And are those lights flickering again? You should really get that checked out. Might be dangerous." Margaret waves off his concerns with a dismissive laugh. "Oh, David, you worry too much. I am just a little scatterbrained, and the lights have always done that." Despite Margaret's words, a tiny seed of doubt begins to sprout, a subtle unease she can't quite shake. Margaret stands lost in the maze of the grocery aisle, her face a study in confusion. Her gaze darts from shelf to shelf, a silent question in her eyes. Unseen, David watches her from the aisle's end, his expression hardening into a calculating stare. A subtle narrowing of his eyes betrays his inner thoughts, confirming his suspicions. The distance between them is charged with unspoken intentions and hidden agendas. Inside Margaret's home, David confronts her, a tower of bills clutched in his hand, his stance radiating accusation. Margaret's composure shatters under David's harsh words, her face contorting in a mix of shock and hurt. Confusion clouds Margaret's eyes as she examines the bills. The bills whisper a tale of deceit, showing either double payments or missed obligations. Margaret's vulnerability intensifies as she grapples with the implications of the financial irregularities. Sunlight floods Margaret's kitchen, where an unspoken tension hangs heavy in the air. David leans in, his voice a gentle whisper, yet his words carry the weight of manipulation. Margaret's eyes dart nervously between David and the papers, revealing her inner conflict. Her breathing becomes shallow, and the pressure of David's influence intensifies. Hesitantly, Margaret reaches for the pen, her hand trembling slightly as she steels herself. The weight of the moment settles upon Margaret as she prepares to make a decision that will alter everything. Months later, the warmth of Margaret's home fades, replaced by an unsettling chill. Margaret watches as David counts out a meager allowance. Margaret's voice cracks with desperation. "This isn't enough, David. Where is the rest? What about my savings?" David coolly deflects, reassuring her. "They are being invested, Margaret. Trust me. It is all being taken care of." Margaret's eyes reflect a growing unease, the weight of uncertainty settling upon her. Amidst the quiet hum of the bank, Margaret strides confidently to the ATM, her mission clear. Frustration mounts as the machine stubbornly rejects her card. Twice, Margaret's voice rises with indignation. "This is ridiculous." Margaret confronts Jennifer Walsh, her tone laced with urgency. "Jennifer, my card keeps getting rejected at the ATM. Something's wrong." Jennifer's professional demeanor crumbles, as she delivers the devastating news. "Margaret, I'm so sorry, but it appears your account has been emptied. There's nothing left." In the stark confines of her home, Margaret stands rigid, her eyes burning into David. David leans back, radiating nonchalant ease as Margaret demands, "Where is the money, David?" David's feigned innocence sharpens Margaret's gaze. "The money from our joint account. It's gone." David counters with a fabricated agreement. "Margaret, you must be confused. We talked about it for weeks. Don't you remember?" Margaret's resolve hardens as she declares, "No, David, I would never agree to something like that without knowing more." Bathed in sunlight, Margaret's living room buzzes with subtle discord as David leans back, a cruel smirk dancing on his lips. "Mom, remember when you put the milk in the oven last week? We all had a good laugh about that." David needles, his words laced with disguised malice. Jennifer watches, a flicker of discomfort betraying her complicity as she echoes David's taunts. "Oh, Mom, you're so funny sometimes. You really do keep us on our toes." Margaret, bewildered, offers a meek reply, her voice trembling slightly. "Did I? Oh dear, I suppose I did." The grandchildren, lost in their innocent world, giggle at Margaret's expense, oblivious to the cruel game playing out before them. In the dead of night, Margaret lies awake, her eyes wide and unblinking in the oppressive darkness. Her mind races with fragmented memories, each one a distorted echo of David's explanations. Doubt gnaws at her, an unrelenting tide eroding her sense of reality. The walls seem to close in, the weight of isolation pressing down with each passing moment. Helplessness settles deep within her, a cold knot forming in the pit of her stomach. Margaret sits amidst a sea of nursing home brochures, her brow furrowed in thought. Lost in contemplation, she grapples with the decision of assisted living. The brochures from the local nursing homes surround her. The weight of the choice bears down on her, a visible burden. She seems to be contemplating giving up and moving into assisted living. Margaret enters her home, where sunlight illuminates the floating dust, carrying memories of bygone days. She discovers a box of old documents, a silent archive of her past. Her fingers tremble as she lifts her nursing notes, a flood of memories threatening to resurface. Margaret's eyes scan the familiar handwriting, each word a vivid reminder of her youthful dedication. Margaret confronts her reflection, seeing not defeat, but a spark of newfound resolve. The lines on her face deepen, each one a testament to battles fought and lessons learned. The realization of manipulation dawns, solidifying her determination to reclaim her identity. She sees not a victim, but a warrior ready to rise and fight back. The competent nurse she once was will be reborn from the ashes of deceit. Margaret breathes deeply, preparing to reclaim her stolen life. Under the crisp morning light, the Oak Park police station stands as a bastion of order. Margaret, a figure of determined resolve in her navy blue dress, strides purposefully toward the station's entrance. Her determined footsteps echo, each step resonating with an unwavering purpose. Margaret demands, her voice ringing with authority. "I demand to report a crime." Her words hang in the air, a gauntlet thrown before the guardians of justice. In the sterile environment of the police station, Margaret lays out her evidence before Officer Rodriguez. Rodriguez leans back, his skepticism palpable as he dismisses her case with a glance. His eyes dart across the documents, the power of attorney, the bank statements, the meticulous nursing notes. A shift occurs as Rodriguez leans forward, interest piqued by the unfolding truth. Sunlight floods David's living room, casting a stark light on the scattered papers that surround him. A grim expression hardens his features as the weight of the police investigation bears down. Fueled by a sudden urgency, David begins gathering the crucial documents. He urgently dials the phone. "Hello, doctor. It's David. I need to request a mental capacity evaluation for Margaret as soon as possible." In the dimly lit office, Detective Chen listens intently as Margaret recounts her story, shadows playing across their faces. The air grows heavy with unspoken tension as Margaret reveals more details. Chen leans forward, his piercing eyes absorbing every nuance of Margaret's account. Each word, adds another layer to the unfolding narrative of David's manipulation and theft. David gently guides Margaret into the stark, sterile doctor's office. Margaret projects an air of serenity, though tension simmers beneath the surface. She sits upright, a posture reflecting her internal fortitude. Her eyes are sharp and focused, betraying nothing of her inner turmoil. The clinical setting amplifies the underlying emotional weight. The courtroom air vibrates with suppressed emotion as sunlight paints the scene with stark clarity. Across the aisle, Margaret's face is a canvas of anger, sadness, and weary resolve. Families gather, their presence a silent judgment in this theater of pain. Evidence mounts, each document a brick in the wall of David's betrayal and Margaret's strength. The weight of unspoken accusations hangs heavy as the courtroom witnesses the unraveling of a life. Jennifer slowly makes her way to the stand, her gaze fixed on the ground. As she is sworn in, a visible tremor runs through her. A palpable tension suffocates the courtroom as she prepares to testify. Her hands tremble slightly as she grips the edge of the witness stand, a storm of emotions brewing within. With a hesitant voice, she speaks. I witnessed David's manipulative behavior and knew about his financial struggles. In the tense courtroom, sunlight pierces through the high windows, illuminating the silent anticipation as the jury foreman rises. The foreman declares, "We find the defendant, David, guilty of theft and fraud." David stands rigid, his face pale as the verdict echoes through the courtroom. Margaret watches from the gallery, her hands clasped tightly, a storm of emotions raging within. A wave of justice washes over Margaret, mingled with a profound sadness for her son's betrayal. In the heart of Oak Park, Margaret strides through Scoville Park, her face glowing with renewed strength. Her warm smile welcomes neighbors, a symbol of her unbreakable spirit and restored independence. Friends and supporters surround her, a living testament to the battles she has overcome. Her victory is palpable, shining brightly in her eyes, a beacon of triumph and peace. She walks with grace and determination, a true embodiment of resilience and inner peace. Margaret's journey culminates in a moment of serene triumph, a symbol of her restored independence.